Sunday, my friends. You're listening to the Gisela Di Carlo Show, a very nice variety show for everybody with emphasis on homeopathy, on, weird facts, and for seniors and everybody who loves life. Our producer, Amnan. Um,
Hello.
Hello, Amnan. Say hello, folks.
Hello.
Eh, Yeah. And let's, just as I always do, I talk a little bit about the weather. The weather is absolutely gorgeous today. It
And
is just
and
perfect.
Kath is in the chat.
It is such a beautiful day. And the sun is just as bright and as beautiful. But alas, it is not going to last. This coming weekend, from the north, we are supposed to get a big snowstorm. And I guess winter is just saying, I am not done with you guys yet. So let's enjoy this beautiful sunshine when we can. And like I said, it is just absolutely gorgeous. Much so less the political scene. I mean, folks, are you listening to this out there? These candidates? It is just really, it is, by now, it is becoming a real comedy show. I mean, the last debate was just, I was like, what? I mean, especially when Trump was talking about the little circles around the states that the insurance companies have. Well, let me enlighten you. You guys are the only ones who are going to be enlightened about this, unless you're in the insurance business like I am. As you know, I have gotten into the insurance business because I am a senior. And when I was trying to find insurance, I had this myriad of rules and regulations and gibbly-gob and gobbledygook, and it was just, I couldn't understand anything of it. So then I tried to find out, and then they told me, well, most of this background information we only give to agents. I said, well, how you become an agent? Well, you have to go and take the test, you have to study, and you have to take the test. Well, anybody who has been listening to my show knows that I'm a research nerd. I'm an information freak. I need to know why and what for. And so I just decided, well, I'm just going to take that test. I'm going to take study, and I found out. And when Trump was saying, well, these little circles around the states, I almost bowled over laughing because he really has no clue. He obviously has no clue. Because here's what the fact is. The fact is that each state has an insurance commissioner. That insurance commissioner is appointed by the federal government. The insurance commissioner rules of what insurance company can come into the state and do business in the state. So it's not really up to the insurance companies. They can't say, oh, we want to do business only in this state and not in another state. It's not up to the insurance companies. That's point one. Point two is that all of the companies, insurance companies, are doing business in probably all of the states. I mean, there are a few companies that, like New York, where the insurance commissioner has decided that they only want to do business with United Healthcare because that's an AARP company. And very few, Aetna and Humana, are also in New York State, but all the other ones cannot do business in New York State. So there's right there a fact that he should be made aware of, and he can't be using that as saying, well, I'm going to change that. What is he going to change? Is he going to change and just take the insurance commissioners away, or what? Get the facts, Mr. Trump. Well, I have a little pet peeve here with Bernie Sanders, my candidate in the horse race here. He's not very well informed either, apparently. Because what he is saying is, when he's saying, well, I'm going to make all tuition free, public colleges are going to be free. Well, I got a news flash for you, Mr. Sanders. Public colleges are, for the most part, free. Okay, we don't have to make them free. The ones that are not free are the Ivy League schools and the big schools that are gouging students and are reaping high profits. I mean, there are some, I believe Penn State, I don't hold me to it, but if one of the listeners can just go into the chat room and correct me, one of the colleges, and the name, I think it's Penn State. The president gets $2.5 million a year. Well, good for him. But you know what? Who pays that? The students. So, Mr. Sanders, get the facts straight. Public colleges, for the most part, are free. You don't have to make them free.
Gisela.
All of that is just sand in the eyes of the voters. Yes, Amnon.
Gisela, I don't know how it is in Pennsylvania, but let me tell you something. Over here, when you're talking about public colleges, we're talking about state colleges.
Yeah.
They are very expensive.
Really?
And the community colleges, which are like a step below that, are getting to the point where it's about $1,000 a semester.
Really? Thank you for correcting me.
Now, sure, you can get all kind of help, financial help from here and there, and take student loans. But no, the North Carolina State University, you're talking about if somebody from beginning to end to get a master's is something like $90,000.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I don't know where.
Thank you for correcting me.
If there are free ones, I want you to tell me, because I need to tell my daughter.
Yeah. Well, I was under the impression that every state had public colleges, state colleges that were free. And you are telling me that is not so, and you must know because you have a child that is going to go to college or is in college, and then you will know because you researched that.
Only
so
in North Carolina. I can talk about North Carolina. I don't know how it is in other. I know in Georgia, if you keep a good grade average in high school, they give you 2 years free or something like that in college.
Yeah.
And there may be other states that it's free. But I don't know. I know in North Carolina it's not like that.
I know that in New York State there are community colleges that are almost free. You know, you pay some, but you don't really pay a whole lot. Also in Pennsylvania here we do have some community colleges, and in New Jersey also, that are not terribly expensive. Good to know. So he is right that it should be then for everybody. But with the insurance, I know that for a fact that it is not up to the state, okay, or rather, it is up to the state commissioner, the insurance commissioner. It is not up to the insurance companies.
Um,
So
it,
if they
Cat,
want to do business. So, but then again, I don't think Mr. Trump is very well informed about many things.
Gisela,
That's just my own personal opinion, no matter even if he does behave like a 16-year-old. And on the last political debate, it seemed like there were 3 teenagers there on the platform fighting each other.
Gisela,
Anyway,
Gisela,
yes,
Kath in the chat is
yes.
saying my daughter just finished her undergrad in New York in State University, and it was $100,000. Kathy is saying if you qualify, and that's probably about what I was saying, that you can get financial help.
Yeah.
And then Kath
Yeah.
adds that about her daughter that her grad at the same state university this semester was just under 6,000. And she's saying she attempted to a college in Scotland and they do not allow US citizens. So she was trying to get
Right.
somewhere that was free.
Right.
I know
Okay.
I know one
Thank you,
thing.
Cass.
I know one thing about where Germany. Germany said that now they're going to turn all the universities free because
Well, yes.
they want to get people to come there, and they say that people that go there will stay there after they graduate and will become part of the working
Right.
force.
I don't know. Germany maybe changing their mind about that, was having that influx of the
Yeah,
Syrians
yeah.
and all of the ones that are coming from the Middle East and also from Pakistan.
Right.
A lot of people coming from Pakistan to go into. Those are called the economic immigrants. Yeah, it's a mess in Europe right now with the immigrants. But you're absolutely right, and many Americans have gone to Germany to study there because it is virtually free for them also, or they pay a much smaller amount. It's the same thing with healthcare. They pay a much smaller amount for healthcare than we do. Not so much that by, because they have very much so like what we have now here with Obamacare, that if you're employed and every company has to sign you up for healthcare. The company pays a portion, and the person who is signed up pays a portion of it. If they do not have any health insurance from the company that they're working with, they have to get a health insurance on their own. But the health insurance on their own is still based on what they earn. So let's say they earn 20,000 a year. They can't be paying the same amount as somebody who earns 100,000 a year. And in my opinion, that is the way it should be. It is not linked only to your age and your lifestyle, like if you smoke or not, although that does have now something to do with it, as I'm being told in Germany, that the insurance company there. But most of the insurance companies there are partially or subsidized by the government. So the government has an oversight. And in my opinion, any health insurance company that offers insurance to the public has to have an oversight like that. I think that's just really the way it should be. And it should not be like what I'm finding out now here with the insurance companies, even though they say there is no pre-existing condition. But if you have, kidney dialysis problems, that you have to go to dialysis because your kidneys are not working, then you cannot be insured by any company. No company really will insure you. Okay. The reason why they're saying that they don't want to pay for the dialysis. All right. The second one is how they eliminate by what drugs you're taking. If you're taking, very powerful drugs, and you have to disclose that, because if you don't disclose it, you will be automatically disqualified, because there is an MIB, there is a medical identifier bureau that has all of your records. Every time you go to the doctor, every time you say hello to your doctor, every time your doctor suggests anything, it is listed there under your name. So the insurance companies are the only ones who really have access to that. And they go in there and they know exactly how many times you have gone to the doctor, what the doctor has suggested. And let me tell you, guys, if you decided let's say knee replacement, just for sake of argument, and you say, well, I really don't want to take off work yet. I really don't, and it's really not that bad, but the doctor suggested a knee replacement. It is listed in that database. Now, the next time your insurance comes up for review, or you want to change insurance companies, they go in there and they say, oh, you had, because there's one question when you do an application, when you do an underwriting application, that means you have to answer health questions. It says, have you ever been suggested a major operation of blah, 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 okay? And if you say to that no, knowingly, because you think, well, a year ago, they won't remember. No, you can be rejected. So if you don't do that, you have to know these things. If you don't know these things about the insurance companies, it's going to be really bad. You also, when you go to the hospital, you have to look at what they fill out. And please read. If you're too sick and you cannot really read it, because, you go to the hospital, you don't go to the hospital because, you don't have anything else to do. Most of the time, you're very sick. So then you don't want to read all the fine print, and most of the time, you don't really even understand it because it's so in there. Take someone with you. Tell them all that their entire job is to read all of it, so that you do not get into trouble. Because one of the things, if you're just under observation in the hospital, your insurance company doesn't have to pay for it. Okay, so then you get a big bill from your insurance or from the hospital, telling you you're responsible because they have put it to the insurance company. The insurance company refused to pay for it because you were under observation, even if you were there for 3 days. That does not mean that your insurance company, and they're getting more and more insidious about it. So please, guys, get the facts straight. All of this you can find out on the internet. All of this you can find out. And if you have a question like that, just email me, gisela@ptd.net, or mylife-mywill@live.com. Easy. I will answer each message. And if I don't know it, I will find out the answer. Okay. Talking about emails, I've had some emails, and let me see if I can find them here. Here we go. I think we are here. Okay, hang on. Let me just see that I find my emails here. No. Anyway, while I'm looking here for the thing, oh, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Okay. Let it just come. Okay. Now, one person, Kelly, had sent me an email of saying, my dog has a lot of skin problems, and I wonder if it is due to sweating. Well, I answered Kelly, and dogs don't have sweat glands like humans. They do have some sweat glands on nose and paws, which are really not so much a sweat gland, but just really a marking scent. So the cooling system of the body works in a different way. This is one of the problems of why there are often skin problems in damp and humid atmospheres. Mostly if they become infected due to changes in seasons, red spots or blisters or dry scales on the skin can show that there's an allergy problem. Many times, and here's what I suggested for this animal, Sulf 30 in the morning, 30C in the morning and in the evening. If that does not cure the problem, try after 1 week, 1 dose of Roost Tox 200C, 1 dose at night. Roost Tox is a remedy that you would use for skin problems. You also use for people that have maybe even some stiffness. Often animals that have skin problems, they often also have some stiffness. And you see it when they stretch a lot. So a dose of Roost Tox 200C, or if you don't have 200C, 30C, but then repeat the dose the next day, okay? 1 dose. Let me see where the other one is. Here is the other one. Sophia asked, my 5-year-old female German Shepherd is showing hair loss since she had puppies. It is mostly on her lower back, and there doesn't seem to be any itching associated with that. Any suggestions? Well, I wrote to Sophia that I have tried melatonin, and melatonin, the one that the humans take, 3 milligram of melatonin twice a day for 2 months at least. That often helps with hair growth. Also, one other remedy that especially for German Shepherds is very, very good is lycopodium. And lycopodium really works also against that hind quarter stiffness often. German Shepherds and large animals, they often get the problem with their hips, where their hips deteriorate. And lycopodium is a fabulous remedy for that, okay? So if you have any questions, about your animal, please just email me, and I'm going to answer to the best of my ability and to whatever I come up with. I do feel that many times we are really at a loss with our pets because um, they we are so close to them, and we want to help them so badly, uh, but often the vets cannot do more than they are doing for them because they are bound by uh, the protocol. They all have a protocol. Okay. So they cannot often help anymore. One of the other things is, especially for the hip dysplasia, when they have a problem in the back, especially larger dogs. And I think, Amnon, you have one of those dogs, right? How is your dog doing?
Oh, not very well, but he's all right.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I now the laser, the light does help quite a bit. Often also, and I will research that. What just came to mind is uric acid. I wonder if that affects animals as much as it affects humans. Humans, really, many people have a lot of stiffness and they have a lot of skin problems also. And the problem is not so much that they are getting old or that they're deteriorating, but they have a uric acid problem. And uric acid, we eat way too much meat and, well, really meat. And uric acid producing foods. Many of the foods, like everybody is supposed to be eating oatmeal in the morning. Well, it's very high in uric acid, oatmeal. Okay, it's not good for everybody. People who do not have a uric acid problem, it's fine for them. But people, especially when you get older, many people have a uric acid problem, and many men more so than women. Uric acid also produces gout, as we know, and that is a deterioration of the joint. And you get that usually in the foot or in the big toe, and then you can't walk, and it's very painful. But you can get it anywhere. You can get it in your wrist. You can get it in your elbows. You can get it anywhere. And you may want to, if any of you have a problem with rheumatoid arthritis, with stiffness, and that comes and goes, okay, and it's predominantly in humid weather, you may want to test your uric acid. It may be one of the problems, okay. Well, let's go to a lighter note. What about the Oscars tonight? I hope all of you are watching. At least you know what? I usually watch like the first 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and then I'm bored stiff and I go to something else. So, but it's supposed to be really pretty funny. And what I found was a very interesting fact, which I don't know if any of you know. They give this goodie bag to these free gifts. It's in a it doesn't really come in a bag. It does come in a bag, but there are a lot of, there's like a $55,000 trip to Israel, and there's the $45,000 another trip, a spa trip or whatever. So they have, for the first 25 winners, they get one of these bags. And these bags this year are, wait for it, Wait for it. Well, $230,000 that these bags are worth. I mean, that is a prize, don't you think? I mean, that is just really, that's humongous. Now, from what I understand, the Academy has started suing the company that gives away these bags because they say they have used their prize giving, and these prizes come from many different companies, to advertise these companies for free and use the Academy for free. Well, I guess they did do that. So I guess that's the way. That's the way it is. And talk about food. During your lifetime, you'll eat about 60,000 pounds of food. That's the weight about 6 elephants. That's a pretty interesting piece of fact, I thought. Um, what else do we have here? About 3,000 years ago, most Egyptians died by the time they were 30. Well, we made improvements. Today, did you guys catch that? 106-year-old lady who went to the White House. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't know. Do you want to be 106 years old, Amnon?
No.
I don't either. I really don't either. I don't know. We don't get prettier when we get older?
It's not a matter of prettier. I mean, you're going to be riddled with pain and who knows what diseases are coming up our way. No.
Yeah, that's true. But this lady she was really out there. I mean, her mind was sharp, and she was dancing with the president,
Yeah,
and she was,
there are always
yeah, did you see it?
exceptions.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I can be one of those exceptions, I'd say, okay, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw last night, I saw for the first time ever, I saw the movie Astronauts. And I don't know if it was astronauts. It could have been astronauts' wives, or it was astronauts. I don't know which one. I didn't see quite the beginning, but it told all of how these first 7 astronauts were trained, what they went through, how they went into space. And I must say, if anybody, for anybody, and I'm one of those people. Um, I don't give easily compliments to others. If you did not do the job, or if you did not really show me that you did something outstanding, I don't know if need my praise. But these 7, they were by far the bravest people that I could think of. I mean, they went into this little tiny space capsule. I mean, this thing was tiny. On their back, they couldn't move. And here they were shot into space with this, knowing full well 20,000 reasons could go wrong, and they could just blow up right then and there. I mean, that topped the first guy who went up Mount Everest. I mean, I always thought the first guy who went up to Mount Everest, I don't see why. Space I can see, because it started off to where we are now. I mean, look at it. This was in the 60s, 1962. They shot the first guy up. There was a first manned, before they only had a monkey up. And he came back well, thank God. But 1962, now we have 2016, and they're walking around in space up there. We have a space station up there. I mean, and they're talking about America being so bad. I think Americans have done pretty darn well. Now we just need somebody to keep us well and keep our economy flowing and keep us going. I mean, that was a feat. Anybody who wants to see something inspirational, watch that movie. I'll find out the correct name of the movie. If anybody is out there knowing the correct name, please let me know. And here's an interesting fact about space. Astronauts cannot cry properly in space because there's no gravity, so the tears can't flow down their faces. Well, I thought that was really pretty cool too, Another piece of interesting thing was also dolphin sleep with one eye open. I think they need to do that because they're great whites that love to eat dolphins. So if you have a shark in the vicinity somewhere, you better have one eye open. And the oldest piece of chewing gum is over 9,000 years old. And I'm sure it was made of a vegetable chewing thing that the people chewed around on. Well, I had fun. I hope you guys did. And I hope that all of you have a fabulous Sunday. Don't forget the Oscars tonight. If you are on the East Coast and you have a PBS station, 12 o'clock, Downton Abbey came on for a marathon the last season. So that might be a good thing. But better thing is probably if you're on the East Coast to go out in the pretty sunshine and get some rays and get a little health. I wish you a wonderful week. Please let me know of what you think about the show. Please let me know your questions. And Amnon, thank you very much for.
No, thank you.
You probably guys noticed we had a little technical problem this morning or this noon, so we were a little late. We try not to do that again. And it wasn't Amnon's fault. It was probably my computer who did not want to play games here today or wanted to play games. So, but I'm so glad that you guys stayed with us or came back. And I wish you a wonderful, wonderful week. Have a healthy one. Stay out of trouble. And bye-bye.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, My Life, My Will with Gisela DiCarlo, The Tanya Love Show, Help Then with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Triangle Be Well with Howard Jacobson, Lunch and Learn with Rabbi Yisrael Cutler, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, Parent Dome with Ryan Miller, Current Affairs with Amnon Nissan. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section on nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Atomos.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.